Individuals who believe that there is not enough for everyone do not trust in the infinite abundance of the universe. They do not even believe it exists. What they are saying then is that the Creator is somehow stupid, because they are saying that they believe that the Creator would have created infinity, but then not created enough for everything in infinity in order to continue. They are saying that infinity is not really infinite, but this is a contradiction and an irrational understanding because of their fear. So you can begin with spiritual awareness to understand that this cannot be true. That if the universe is infinite, which it is, then there must by definition be an infinite amount of everything for everything in the universe. But now some of you may be thinking, oh, but wait a minute, the planet Earth is not everything in the universe. It is just one small part. But now with growing spiritual insight, you can begin to understand something very magical about the universe. And that is that every part of the infinite universe is also infinite. The paradox of infinity is that the whole is created of parts, but that the parts are also simply different reflections of the whole. It is only an illusion that parts are separate from the whole. There is a very important distinction to understand here. Every single part of creation is the whole of creation pretending to act as a part of creation. And that includes the idea of individual people as well. Every individual person is the infinite whole creation of all that is, acting like a part of all that is. Each individual person is a different perspective that the totality of creation has of itself. Each individual person, place, and thing in creation is just another way that the infinite Creator has of seeing itself within creation, of understanding what it is in relation to all the other ways in which it sees itself. That is why in our world we call individual people and all the different things in creation, we call them the eyes of God. Each and every one of you is one of the eyes of God. Each and every one of you is a different perspective that creation has of experiencing itself. And this gives you some small clue and some small hint of exactly how powerful each and every individual truly is. And this is why it is important that spiritual growth is taking place on your planet today, because this awareness is what will allow you to create the world you really prefer. Each and every one of you is a beautiful facet of the multidimensional crystal of all that is. And you understand that this crystalline idea is one way of looking at creation as being a giant multifaceted crystal. And thus you recognize that the universe is information and relationship. And this is one way to organize information beautifully, is in a crystalline form. And this is why many of you in your spiritual growth are very attracted to the idea of crystals. Because it is a metaphor or a symbol for the idea of purified awareness and purified consciousness and purified information. And many of you will find that as you develop this understanding and relationship with crystalline forms of consciousness, that much of your technology will also begin to take the idea of the use of crystalline forms and become much simpler. A similar idea, or as an example, will be to look at the history of the technology of your clock. When individuals on your planet first invented clocks, they were very large and very complicated, having many different gears and so forth. And then they became, over time, simpler and simpler and simpler and simpler. And then your civilization discovered that crystals vibrate with such precision that by putting crystals in your clocks, they would be very precise and very pure timekeepers. So this example is a direct analogy of the evolution of your consciousness and the evolution of your technology on your planet. Where you are beginning to understand that this is really all one and the same thing. Your technology and your consciousness really are not different things. And just as you appreciate the entire form of the crystal with all of its facets, so now you are also, as a society, beginning to look more holistically at your world.